Really loving Serge Lutens lately. Real artistry going on in their fragrances. And a friend of mine, Rick, he's been getting a bunch directly from France, and he already gave me a bunch of samples of these. And but now he's got enough where he's been selling some 10 milliliters. So I got a hold of some, and I've been wearing them. And all these work great in the winter. So let's get into this. All right, first up is this Borneo 1834 from Serge Lutens. Yeah, this decant is a real nice thick glass too. I love the labeling on these. So yeah, this is nice. And this is going to go a long ways, 10 milliliter, because those Serge Lutens are pretty strong. And really the star of Serge Lutens is in the dry down. When you give them like a half hour to an hour and you really get into Serge Lutens, the dry down on these are just really nice. Not that the opening is not good, but you know, all fragrances for the most part open pretty good. And you know, the dry down is where the life of the fragrance. And Serge Lutens just nails the dry down. So this one's earthy, spicy, woody. It's an oriental type of fragrance, gourmand. A ton of patchouli and chocolate. That's what you're getting. Kind of like a spicy green, sort of like a bitter green fragrance at the open. And then it's, you know, then it gets into that sweet, spicy, oriental, woody type. And then it's like leathery, dusty, earthy, woody type base. So yeah, the main thing you're getting here is a lot of cacao powder and a ton of earthy patchouli. So if you like patchouli, this is almost a must smell for you. Not easy to get a hold of, but this is great. Borneo 1834, masterpiece again by Serge Lutens. All right, La Couche Diable, which is translated to the devil's lair, is a good name for this one. It's resinous, spicy, smoky, woody, oriental, just a bold and dark fragrance. A lot of opulent, smoky resins. There's some nice woods, spices, sweet fruits, and there's some nice velvety roses in this. Another really unique one or whatever. And like all these Serge Lutens, there's like an artistry and story being told here. There's a lot of like clementine and dates notes coming up, like preserved in amber, and then like imported spirits mixed with it, and then it's kind of tossed on a smoky remains of a fire. You know, maybe used to conjure demons or something. So yeah, it's a pretty unique storytelling there, and it does kind of bring a story of you know, like being in the devil's lair or something to mind. And super interesting fragrance. Great job on this one, and real fun layer. Next up is this musc koublai from Serge Lutens. This is the closest thing I can relate this to is like a musc ravageur from Frederick Malle. So it's got that animalic note heavy in here. It's spicy, oriental, resinous, leathery, and like musk usually go a couple directions. Some of them can be, you know, kind of pissy smelling, to use that term. That's kind of what it does smell like a little bit. And then there's the clean white ones. This is somewhere in the middle of those, probably more towards the pissy version of it though. But it's just animalic, musky, a little bit of powdery as it dries down. Just a ton of musk here. Just a real pure, nice musk. So if you're really into musk fragrances and you can handle that you know, that kind of dirty homeless person musk type scent with some animalic notes or whatever, you know, this is kind of like a dirty fragrance. But if you like a musc ravageur from Frederick Malle, like I said earlier, or anything like that, you're going to love this one. And I'm not sure which of those I prefer more. And I know that sounds like a weird scent profile to get into, but after you wear it for a while, you really get to liking it. And I've got a lot of compliments wearing this style of fragrance, and it does kind of give off like a sexiness about it too. I'm not sure why that is or whatever, but it's one that you gotta wear a few times to even figure out and get to like. But yeah, this is really good. One of the best musk fragrances I've ever smelled. Fille is one of my favorite Serge Lutens. Right now, smelling it today while I'm doing this, I'd move it up to my favorite, but then other times just like juxtapose. So this is, I don't know, those are probably my top two, but and I just like them all. So this one is, it's got it's real refined and mature. Like there's a dried fruit, spice, pine, it's unisex leaning masculine. And I had a bottle of this when I was a lot younger. I always liked pine and fragrances. So I remember finding out, I don't remember how I found out about it or whatever, but it was easy to get back then and pretty cheap to find. So I went through a whole bottle of this when I was really not even into fragrances that much. I've always been into them, but you know, I didn't even have that many fragrances. When I went through a bottle of this, I probably had like 5 fragrances. It's been decades ago, actually. So it's spicy, woody, resinous, smoky, earthy. And I do have the duo version of this, and it's really good. It's close to this, but I done a side by side, and it's just, this is just better, especially the open stuff. It's spicy, and there's like a smoky pine forest smell to it, woody, green, resinous, and a little bit earthy. And the incense and dry fruits kind of give a cozy feel to it. I just love this thing, and it's a kind of a storytelling fragrance, like Serge Lutens always does. Like I said, that there's just a lot of artistry going. Kind of feel like you're walking in a pine forest, and there's like just pines all around you, and there's like you can kind of smell there like a balmy resin. It's cold outside, and maybe there's some Christmas incense and spices going on at a Catholic church having a service out there somewhere in the middle of this pine forest. So yeah, I love this one. This one's great around the holidays, and great in the cooler weather, and just another masterpiece fragrance by Serge Lutens. Another one's another Serge Lutens telling another story. It's fumerie turque, which is French for Turkish smokehouse. So it's kind of painting a picture of like a Turkish smoking room, like you got the hookah burning, and there's some candied fruits, a little bit of like animalistic leathery skin, from your maybe your leather furniture, old wooden furniture too in there with smell, and a little bit of maybe like some florals in a vase or something sitting over there too, because there's some sweet florals mixed into this. Some fruit sitting around. So really nice fragrance. Pretty unisex right down the middle of this one. It's oriental, smoky, spicy, sweet, resinous. A lot of blonde tobacco notes, honey, and rose in this one. And another fun one to wear, and just great storytelling, and does definitely evoke a nice image. Right. Like I said, these Serge Lutens are just masterpiece perfumery going on here, and all 5 of these are just masterpieces to me, and just tell a real nice artistic story. And performance on all Serge Lutens is above average generally. And like I said, the dry downs are where these things really shine. Not that they don't open good. The dry downs on these things are just really nice. And I'll put some contact information for Rick if he's selling these. He's going to sell a little bit of these because he's a collector, but he'd like to sell a little bit because he's got so much stuff he can't go through it all. So he is selling some of these. You have to contact him and see how much and what he is selling. And it's definitely legit. I'll vouch for this guy 100%. Everything he's got is for sure 100% legit. I know this guy, and he's getting it from France, and there's a lot of headaches to that too. He always has to deal with it getting like confiscated through customs and everything, and they tag it or the paperwork ain't right or something. So it's always getting sent back to Serge Lutens. He's always having problems with that, but he's pretty persistent, and he's built up quite a collection of them. And I'll put a picture up here too. So I'll give his contact information. It's a Facebook group he's got them posted in, and you'll have to look for his name, and I'll give you a picture of his collection here. So yeah, real thankful to him to be able to get my nose on a bunch of these Serge Lutens, and I've probably got my nose on 30 Serge Lutens or more now, thanks to him. So yeah, if you're into Serge Lutens at all, whatever, and you don't want to try to hunt down these bottles, this is a great opportunity for you to get a hold of these. So if you made it this far, like, subscribe, and comment. That helps the algorithm, and I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch.